Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas X16 Plus Purechaos in the latest Blue Blast Pack colorway. Now, of course, in today's video, we're going to go over all the details on this shoe as far as the colorway is concerned, because that is all new for this version of the boot. We're going to go over tech specs, performance features, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as how they fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more about the Blue Blast Purechaos, stick around, watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $300 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. Now, being a top-end model from Adidas, they do include a couple of extras to go along with the shoes. The first thing is an extra set of comfort insoles to go along with the lightweight ones already inside of the shoes, and they also include a string bag with the Adidas and X branding on it. Now, as far as the colorway is concerned, this is of course, again, part of the Blue Blast Pack, so you do get that blue color for the majority of the upper, including the Tech Fit collar piece that sticks out at the heel area. And then of course it fades to a very bright shock pink color in the heel area. So right at the heel counter, part of the upper, as you guys can see, kind of around the X and non-stop grip branding right there. And then the bottom as well has that kind of spray paint type effect in terms of how it fades from blue to pink. Now, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I am not crazy about this particular colorway. The blue I don't mind, the white I don't mind, but the blue and pink together, to me, just gives it this kind of bubblegum look. That's what it really reminds me of, and I just don't care for it all that much. I know a lot of people do like them, and I'd be curious to hear your opinions down below in the comment section, but for me personally, I just don't care for the look of this particular colorway. Another thing that is notable here is the fact that there is a wearable aspect to the sole plate itself. The blue is just blue in terms of what color the sole plate actually is, and then the pink part is actually painted on top. So it does come with a warning sticker letting you know that that part of the sole plate will wear off over time and it'll be left blue underneath. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. And based on my experience, it doesn't actually wear away all that quickly. Now, in regards to performance, I think that the X16 Plus Purechaos is a very, very good shoe. I think out of all the top-end models currently on offer from Adidas, it is my personal favorite, mainly because I just think it's a really interesting concept that does work quite well from a performance as well as a comfort standpoint. Now, the tech specs aren't the most clear in terms of what you're actually getting with this shoe. They list it as a Tech Fit upper, which doesn't really tell the whole story. The Tech Fit aspect is what you see here hanging out of the actual top piece around the heel area. So this is kind of an elasticated material that does wrap to the internal part of the shoe and cuts off at this seam right here in the forefoot area. So basically, this is an elasticated kind of internal sock, if you will, that when you put the shoes on, it does have a little bit of stretch to it. It squeezes your foot, has that nice tight wrap around the middle of your foot. But then of course, everything over top is not really listed in the tech specs, and that is of course the synthetic upper aspect. So basically from this seam forward, it is just this straight up material that is a synthetic. It's good. It's got good softness to it. It's very, very flexible. There's really not a whole lot to break in with this particular shoe. And in regards to thickness, it does have a slightly padded sensation to it. So it's more of a barefoot feel, I would say, but not along the lines of what you'll get from a Mercurial Vapor, for example. Those are much thinner and just feel much pingier in general. And then of course, on the other side of this seam, you're gonna find their Pure Cut lace cover system, which basically is just more of this synthetic material wrapping all the way across the foot, covering up where the laces are actually positioned through the middle of the shoe. Now, this is something that, again, a lot of the press pictures don't necessarily show the fact that these do have laces, but they do, and the lacing system is very important in terms of securing your foot, locking it in place. You basically have 3 nylon straps that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system. They basically just create big loops, and you pull on the laces, it pulls on those straps, and it does a really good job of securing the midfoot. Again, it's a very shallow lacing system in that it only goes from here to here, but it does make a very big difference in terms of increasing the lockdown and responsiveness that you're going to get from this shoe. So as far as other aspects of the upper is concerned, obviously you do have the tearing effect across the entire upper, and that's something that will vary from colorway to colorway. This is what we saw when the X16 Plus Purechaos initially launched. So a very slight texturing from that, not something I would say is particularly noticeable. And then you do get your non-stop grip dot applications throughout the entire upper as well, which is basically the wet control element. That, in my opinion, doesn't have much of an impact on performance whatsoever. As far as the actual heel area is concerned, some people do want to classify this as a mid-cut shoe. I really wouldn't. It's pretty much low cut with these little extension pieces that offer no kind of support or added structure to them. You get this part at the front that does raise up a little bit higher. Again, not noticeable when you wear the shoes. And then it does have the kind of exaggerated S-curve heel, which is inspired by the very popular Ultra Boost running shoe. It's supposed to relieve pressure on the Achilles tendon. And all I can say is that it is comfortable. Does it feel different from a standard low cut at the back area? Not really. It feels pretty normal, but it gets the job done. There's nothing to complain about aside from how it looks, and that's really more of a matter of personal preference. As far as the liner is concerned, you're going to find that it does have this really nice kind of synthetic suede material lining the heel area of the shoe, and then you're going to find these little pink dots. It's pink on this particular colorway. These are actually some grip texturing dots that run through the very back of the heel liner, and they do a very effective job in terms of gripping your socks and just giving you as much lockdown and preventing any kind of slippage in the heel area of the shoe. So very, very effective lockdown from those grip dots. And again, based on my experience, they don't seem to wear away. So they tend to be pretty durable, which is definitely nice as well. Insole fully removable. Again, you get those extra ones that I showed at the start of the video if you prefer something with a little bit more cushion, but the lightweight ones are what they include inside the shoes. So it's just a mesh liner, perforations throughout, single layer of this blue foam. Nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And then as far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, this is where we don't see quite as much variety from Adidas in regards to their top-end model. It of course does feature a sprint frame construction, including the one-piece heel counter that's attached to the sole plate. So the sprint frame itself, it's made from a TPU plastic material, has some pretty good flexibility in the forefoot, and then of course has the stiffener bars or ribs running through the midfoot and heel area just to have stiffness in the right spots on the sole plate itself. And then of course you do get the FGAG stud pattern that is exclusive to the X line. You can use these technically on firm natural grass as well as artificial grass. It's the same layout you're gonna find across the entire Adidas brand, but with a slightly different shaped stud. So these studs are kind of what I would describe as almost like a raindrop type shape or a teardrop, whatever you want to describe it as. And they're kind of varied in terms of their actual shape. They're not all exactly the same size and dimension, but they all are kind of along the same lines in terms of the style of stud that it is. And it really does feel like more of a conical stud pattern versus a bladed stud pattern. The traction that you get on natural grass, I would say, is pretty good. It's kind of what you would expect from an Adidas shoe, especially if you have worn anything with this stud layout over the last several years from the Adidas brand. This is kind of more of the same. So again, it gets the job done. And as far as performance on artificial grass is concerned, it's not really a true AG stud pattern in my opinion, but it does get the job done. It doesn't feel unstable or unsafe or anything like that. But I would say the studs are slightly too long for artificial grass. But again, it is FGAG, so if you only want to buy one pair of shoes to use on both natural and artificial playing surfaces, pretty much any of the inline Adidas products will provide that for you. In regards to weight, in a size 9 US, these guys weigh in at 7.1 ounces, which is pretty light, honestly. It's right at the 7-ounce range. There are lighter shoes out there. I know a lot of people really like to compare these to something like the Mercurial Vapor or even the Mercurial Superfly. Those weigh less. The Superfly is about 6.8 ounces in a 9 US, and the Vapor is about 6.3. So the Vapor itself, if you're comparing this to the Vapor, is about an ounce lighter. But nonetheless, these do provide a nice lightweight feel on feet. They're just not the lightest shoe out there. But again, for most people, I don't think that's something that's going to be too big of an issue. So that is enough about the tech specs and performance features. Let's take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So again, in regards to lacing these up, which is something that a lot of people don't really talk about just because most of the press pictures don't even show laces, is that they're kind of difficult to unlace. So because you have this big lace cover, you can't really get in there all that well. But what I like to do is kind of just loosen the top ones and then just pull it from the inside to loosen everything up. As far as getting them on is concerned, it's not too bad. This is stretchy for a reason, so you can make the opening as big as possible. But basically, I like to just get my foot kind of halfway in like this, grab this front piece and make sure that it's pulled open. And then I grab this little back S-curve tab, which is actually pretty helpful in terms of getting them on. and I slide my foot in. So you really want to avoid stepping on the heel area, which isn't too hard to do with this particular shoe. From here, you kind of just adjust the side pieces in the front part. And then again, because the lace cover kind of fits pretty tight to your foot, you don't have access to lace to tighten the laces kind of section by section. All you can really do is just pull from the top. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that through the actual upper, but you can see the laces kind of pressed underneath the actual lace cover itself, and they will tighten pretty effectively even from just pulling from the top. Then from there, you basically just tie them like normal shoes. So some people leave the laces out. I personally just kind of tuck them into the side of the lace cover. You may find that they will come out as you wear them, but that's not too big of a deal. Pull the other one on really quickly as well, just so you can see what both look like on feet. Again, getting them on, not too big of a deal. You just want to avoid, again, stepping on the heel of pretty much any shoe, not just these. Fix this really quickly. And then hopefully you guys can see, I'll try to do it on an angle here. Just pay attention to the actual texture there, because you'll see the laces actually tighten all the way down. You can see it a little bit there. It's probably difficult to pick up on camera, but tie these up really, really quickly. Tuck the laces in. The lace cover is cool in terms of hiding the laces, but not really much of a performance benefit to it. You get a nice consistent texturing, but that's about it. It's not going to improve your control, power your shot, accuracy, anything like that. So here is what they look like on feet. And again, like I said earlier in the video, out of the box, the Purechaos is a very comfortable shoe. It's kind of quirky in terms of how it fits, in that you don't get a consistent tightness throughout the entire foot because the lacing system basically only spans from here to here. You get the majority of the tightness in the midfoot area. And I would say the heel does have a tighter fit overall, where the forefoot and toe box area definitely does have more width to it. It's not the tightest feeling shoe. So that is, again, where this does really differ from something like a Mercurial Vapor, even though they are kind of lightweight, thin synthetic shoes in terms of how they're marketed. So not the super tight fit that you would get from a Mercurial, but a very comfortable shoe, very, very flexible. The upper itself feels nice on foot, and the fit is quite good given its quirks in that you don't have a very deep lacing system here. As far as the actual width of the shoe is concerned, they've got some decent width to them. They're not overly narrow by any means. I wouldn't say that they're super wide either. I think they'll fit most people. If you have a really, really wide midfoot, you may find these to be a little bit restrictive for you. But again, for most people, I don't think you're gonna have too many issues getting the proper fit in this particular shoe. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the Blue Blast Pack Adidas X16 Plus Purechaos. Again, if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $300 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.